What's going on, car guys and car gals? We are excited to see you today, wherever it is that you are, wherever it is that you're listening. Thank you so much for being part of the brew. We got a fun one today, don't we, Frick?
Man, we always have fun ones, but today is going to be one of those special brews, right? This is a great news meeting, right? We got some announcements to make. We got a good friend who is no stranger to the Car Guy Coffee podcast. Today's show, DC20 Unlocked, is about what's happening right now. And I can't wait to hear some announcements. I can't wait to break some news. I've already seen it actually hit LinkedIn. I've seen an announcement on there, but I can't wait to hear from the man, the myth, the legend himself to talk about it. So this is the guy who loves to integrate, and I can't wait to talk more about integration with him.
Integration, great news. Everybody, let's get ready to brew. We are excited for each and every one of you to be inside of the party today, inside of the cafe. We are hanging out inside of Bozard Ford right now in beautiful St. Augustine, Florida, who also is a drive-centric user, and they are masters at using it and still know that there's way more that they can use. And we are so excited to be here working with them, and really, really, really excited to have a moment of this incredible Solutionaries time and have some fun with the one,
the only Matt Leone.
Welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. Let's brew.
Hey guys, good to see you again.
It's always good to see you, and I'm digging the facial hair. Looking pretty cool, my friend. Looking smooth. No, but super excited. I see that you're at the headquarters right now, and that's awesome. You're taking orders from headquarters, right?
Giving orders from headquarters.
That's what it is, right? No, but we love what's going on. We're excited to have you on the show today to talk about some really fun things that are happening right now at DriveCentric, right? And that's something that when they brought you in, and something that you made an agreement on, was that you were going to definitely start to do things that maybe make some shifts, make some commitments that are slightly different than what they were doing in the past, right? So I'm excited to hear about that. Excited to get it going, Lou.
I'm pumped up. Welcome to the party, Matt.
Yeah, it's great to be here, guys. It's great to be here in St. Louis. Beautiful day out today. But it's always fun to be back on the podcast.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you, appreciate everything that you're brewing. But let's go ahead and talk about what it is that you're brewing. What is going on over at DriveCentric right now? And what's the great big news that dealers need to know?
Yeah, well, we're really excited, pumped up. We're one of my initiatives when I became CEO, about 100 days now in the seat, was really to open up our partner ecosystem. We have an API, and my focus was, let's, as an initiative, get that open. The second one was, if we can do that, let's make sure that we're collecting the data that we need to power and fuel our system and our AI, so we could focus in on our core offerings. And then the third one we wanted to be able to do is innovate, create new products, and innovate further for the industry. And this partnership announcement with a former company of mine really checks 3 boxes for me. Be able to do all 3 of those things by partnering with Automotive Mastermind. For those that aren't familiar with Automotive Mastermind, it was a company that I was at for the last 5 years. I was the CEO there. They're part of a family of companies, including Polk Automotive, MarketScan, Carfax, and then Automotive Mastermind. And what they do is they aggregate data, over 15 years of machine learning data, of understanding the consumer, the household, the vehicle, and be able to understand who's likely about to be in market, when are they likely about to be in market, why are they likely to be in market, and then how are they likely to transact. And that predictive machine learning model is something that I really wanted to be integrated into DriveCentric. And so we formed a partnership to be able to allow Mastermind via our open API to integrate their data into our platform. So we're super excited about it. I think it's going to be super beneficial for our customers that have both Mastermind and DriveCentric. But even if you don't, the machine learning models and the data will help fuel our AI, which will benefit all of our customers out there.
That was exactly what was ringing in my head, Matt, was how it was going to fuel the AI inside of your system already. The more data that it has, the better it's going to be. And of course, partnering up with a company like that has some really amazing hygiene, clean data, right? That's really good for everyone. That doesn't do anything but help, right? And that helps obviously the people with both. It's going to really help, but I think that it's going to help any dealer that's involved, especially as time goes by. It's just going to keep getting stronger and definitely more intelligent, right? And I love that, and that's really cool that what you guys are trying to do here and what you are doing here. So I got to ask, we kind of got an idea here, but for those car guys and car gals out there, in the trenches, what does it mean for them on the showroom floor exactly? How does it help them, benefit them?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I think about an integration, there's lots of companies that say, "Hey, I've got an integration," and it's very basic, simple stuff. Especially when you're talking about the CRM world, legacy CRMs that have traditional workflows. All you're doing is integrating and putting a bunch of shit into notes. That's not really going to help the person on the floor room. Nobody wants to read notes. Nobody wants to have a task management system telling them what to do. Um, so this integration is different, and I'll describe it to the people that want to understand what a true integration, a true partnership looks like. My vision of how data should flow between companies.
Mm.
Integration is not going to be updating notes in this situation. What you're going to see directly in the drive-centric user interface is everything about that consumer. Mastermind has a thing called behavior prediction scores, or a BPS score. They're going to be able to see not only here's their score, but all the drivers and information that drives behind that. So why is this person in market? What are the things that are the trigger points? What was the marketing that was sent out to them? How often did they click on view that marketing? That data will reside directly in DriveCentric, so that a user of DriveCentric would be able to say, I don't need to read through notes. I have all this data displayed to me. And not only that, our Genius product and our automation product will pick up on all of that traffic and all that information. And so the AI within DriveCentric will be able to use that data to say, hey, this person got 5 pieces of marketing. They clicked on this X amount of times. This lead is a really high quality lead, and we should do something further with this. And that machine learning data from Mastermind will feed our AI engine, and it'll be seamlessly integrated so that it'll create an opportunity, it'll amend an opportunity, and it'll feed our AI. But as Fred, what you mentioned before is this is data hygiene as well. So enrichment, data cleansing, data hygiene, compliance. This person's on a do not contact. This person moved. This person doesn't own a vehicle anymore. This person, has sold that vehicle. That data, imagine all the leads we get pumped into DriveCentric. Now we want to make sure that those leads have some level of hygiene so that we can associate it to having, again, our AI use that data in a more intelligent way. So if you're an end user of our product, you're going to have the AI, you're going to have the visibility not to have to log on to 2 different platforms, and you're going to have sort of a higher level of compliance and trust that AI is using good, high quality data to do what it needs to do.
My goodness. And that's just making the job way easier for the person on the floor, for the person that's trying to mine for a conversation and find somebody to connect to and to deliver service. At the end of the day, the salespeople don't get on the phone as much as they should, because sometimes they're fishing through a whole lot of which one is the customer, which one is the content. And that does create a lot of frustration, which then would get people to be hands off. But if you can remove that excuse and say, hey, this is squeaky clean when you get in there, make sure that you do the right thing while you're working with this customer inside of the system, and then work it accordingly. That's great stuff. And that's exactly what you guys specialize in, is being able to make sure to make it easy for everybody. With that, you're also known for taking on some challenges. It's not been too long that you jumped into that CEO role, and you came in with some strong goals. Some might say even audacious goals. Now there's all of this new development going in. How does this fit inside of that vision that you initially went in? Is this where you saw it already, or are you surprised at where you are at the moment?
Now I'm super excited about where we're at the moment. First 100 days, and again, they check all 3 boxes with this first major integration. It's not just simply notes. How do I make that end user experience better, seamless, and how do we fuel our data within DriveCentric with enriched, high quality data? You find the right strategic partners. You open up that integration. So the API was one of my initiatives, and you allow that to be tested and validated. What you then do is say, okay, we need to be able to enhance the core, make it simpler for end users, make the data more easily accessible, and enhance the AI engine. And then what we want to do is innovate new products. And so now we have this new data. There's all sorts of new things we can create and curate and innovate on with all this new enriched data that's going to be flowing into our platform. And so if I come back to the vision statement of what I wanted to do when I came to DriveCentric was, be a more open ecosystem, load up our system with as much data as possible, and innovate new products. This is just that stepping stone. And I think we're going to have a lot more of these strategic partnerships that we're in lots of active discussions on, to be able to make DriveCentric the centralized engagement platform to run a dealer's operation. And if we can fuel it with vehicle data, consumer data, household data, we become that centralized point. and then allow others to be able to access that data to do what they specialize in is definitely one of my key initiatives here.
Wow.
Yeah. You're doing it, brother. You're doing it. It's exciting. It's exciting
Yes.
to watch. I know you're pumped up.
No, and it's awesome because I think you right time, right place. I think that the timing of you coming there at a time when they were trying to take it to the next level was so perfect, because the ideas of what you as a team are doing right now is phenomenal, and the way that you're leading the charge, I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
The thing about we're talking about a lot right now is data. And data is amazing. They're even saying that data is like the new oil, right? And that's kind of hot, and I believe that. I actually think that data has been hot for a long time. It's just that I think we're starting to be able to use that data at a much faster rate, because AI can go pull data from decades, centuries ago, really, and be able to find it so fast and be able to pull it back up to us to be able to communicate with somebody. And that's what I love about the tool too, is the fact that being able to have good hygiene data and being able to find somebody that we as people we just don't have the bandwidth to be able to reach out and hit all these leads as time goes by. A store that's been open for 20 years, that has all these people that are in their database, that are new leads coming in, all this stuff. There's only so many.
And you can only hire so many BDC agents.
That's
you can
right.
only hire so many salespeople. You only have so much room. You can only outsource so much of it.
Facts.
At the end of the day, it piles up greatly, and that's what the dealer works for. That they work to gather that many people to be in their following, to be in their database, for them to communicate with, and they're all valuable. They're like ridiculously valuable because they're people inside of the system that we can serve. It's so much.
And
one of the things that you talked about, Fuel, is that data is a new of gold, and you're right. It's been that sort of saying out there in the industry for a while. They talked about CRMs. Is it still relevant? Is a CRM platform still something needed in the tech stack of a dealership or an operations? And, when you think about data and you think about the CRM world, there's all these acronyms, all these terms: customer journey platform, customer data platform, CRM, which is a customer relationship management system. What does it all mean? And do I need all of these tech stacks? And then you have all these bolt-ons coming on and saying, I specialize in this, and I take data from the DMS or the CRM, and these are the things I do. I think a lot of dealerships are like, hey, listen, I've got too much tech. I want vendor consolidation. I'm passing data all over the place. I've got all this data. I don't know how to do with it. So there's all these ideas out there of how to manage that. When you think about a company like Mastermind, which is just, they're specialized in a data management world. They have bulk data, household data, garage data, consumer data, Carfax data, market scan for pricing data. They're a data company. And if we can fuel data into DriveCentric, and DriveCentric is already consolidating leads from all these sources, websites and listing companies and other digital retailing platforms, where it's feeding data into our ecosystem. If I can enrich and cleanse that data, then really our AI can be that crutch for helping a dealership scale, but also eliminate the tech stack, because there are, again, all these bolt-ons that come along and say, okay, well, I'm going to do something with that data. Well, if DriveCentric is your operational platform, if it becomes a centralized source for you to feed information into, and we can accelerate that by bringing in strategic partners, then not only am I getting all the data from that dealership, I'm getting third-party, first-party, zero-party data coming into DriveCentric on behalf of that dealership, and then fueling it as fast as I can with that insights of our AI to really help make that dealership more efficient. And that's our number one goal. How do we reduce the tech stack out there? How do we reduce all the needs for these bolt-ons and become the centralized platform for a dealership to run their end-to-end operations? And this is, again, one of those partnerships that I think accelerates a lot of that for a dealership, particularly if you're an Audi dealership, a Volkswagen dealership, a Mazda dealership. There are things that, say, Mastermind really specializes in, like private offers, partnered with the manufacturer in the OEM. Well, those private offers are high quality leads that have additional incentive that dealerships might be leaving on the table because there's an incentive they have to process and claim. Well, if DriveCentric can run that through our operations and we go all the way to desking, we can ensure that compliance happens. We can ensure those claims are being processed. We can ensure those incentives are being utilized because there's money on the table there. And so there's a lot of goodness that comes out with partnerships like this that go beyond just simply saying it's an integration and a check the box.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
However we look at that, we want to celebrate that. That is great
It is
news,
great news.
for all those that need that information, that need that to be consolidated. And I'm with you, Matt. People have been inundated with so many different options to choose and to pick, and they want to sell cars. They want to take care of people. They want to serve the community, and you guys are doing that. And you also have to kind of give them some grace too. If they don't want to sit down to listen about one more thing, they've probably been hearing a lot in the recent history of everything that's developing, and that's okay. But sometimes, because all good car guys are great at being able to weigh the options, they also want to look at the deal. They want to see what's kind of out there. They're curious, when can dealers, or when can some of us get some kick into the tires in of this product that's about to really advance things.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the exciting part about 2025. There's so much innovation, there's so much speed, there's so many new things out there, new companies springing up. The days of what I'll call legacy software players that take a year to develop something, put it into beta, put it into a minimally viable product, release it out there, I think are long gone. The days of 90 days to be able to have an idea, put it into production, and allow end users to take full advantage of it, I think are here. And one of the things that we're really super proud of in this integration, this partnership, I've been here 100 days. Probably about 30 days ago, Aaron Baldwin, the CEO of Mastermind, and I got together and said, hey, why don't we form this partnership? And if we're going to do this integration, let's do it at the highest level. If we're going to build this partnership, let's not do it where it's just passing notes. Let's do the deepest level of integration the industry's seen. And from that idea, we'll call it 30 days ago to today, we're already in production and beta testing. So as an end user in Q4, we should be able to say, this is a fully integrated, fully operational platform. And that was one of my goals too with Aaron, which is, hey, we need to be able to say from idea to go, this isn't wait a year and maybe you'll be able to take advantage of this. This is Q4 of this year. Dealerships have full advantage of this. Starting off with private offers, that's already in production, being tested by dealerships right now, and then moving into all of the data, the BPS data flowing in, should all be available here by the end of the year.
That's great news.
That is some great news, right?
Let's go.
Yeah.
I love what you're talking about. And there's so many great things happening, and there's some places that people can maybe come and learn more about it. And one of them is DC20 coming up in 2 weeks. I can't wait. It's going to be in California. It's the first of its kind. You guys have been doing some offsite ones, but this time you decided to go to the West Coast, right? And going out there, you're going to be hosting it. It's going to be a shorter event. It's I think it's a day and a half or something like that, but I think it's going to be very impactful. And a lot of dealers who maybe couldn't make the trip out to the East side or even Midwest, maybe this is a great place. I heard there's going to be some new dealers that haven't been, and dealers who don't even have DriveCentric as their CRM yet. They're just going to come by and check it out. That's going to be exciting. Tell people a little bit about that.
Yeah. So we do a DC20 event. Usually we have one big one that's in our St. Louis corporate headquarters office. We're trying out moving it regionally so that we always will have a home base where it would be a St. Louis is our major one once a year. And then we'll have some regional ones. We're going to do this one out in the West Coast. And that's my hometown. I grew up in San Diego. So going back to California is going to be super exciting for me. Newport Beach, the beginning of October. And we're going to announce a few of these partnerships. We're going to have great speakers. We're going to have a great lineup of companies talking about how they work with DriveCentric and the benefits end users can get out of it. So Aaron Baldwin will be out there from Mastermind. We're going to have Market Scan out there as well, talking about the whole desking process and the integration that we have there. Great lineup of speakers, great lineup of an agenda. And then we'll try it out again. We're maybe move one into the East Coast to allow for more dealerships that don't necessarily can take off the time to travel all the way to St. Louis to be able to say, hey, we got you. We'll go on a road show and be able to take our DC event out to them.
That's amazing. I love that you all are doing that. And I could tell you this firsthand for anyone who hasn't been to a DC20 event, it's amazing. You don't literally have to be signed up with them. You can come learn so much just from being around people. The education that you get is phenomenal. Even it'll help you use any tool because it'll show you that there's so much more possible. But what I love about it the most is for the people who are on DriveCentric. man, you really get to sit down with the best of the best, right? And really share ideas and learn. And a lot of times you're giving ideas yourself that people are like, wow, you didn't realize that you were doing something unique. So you should come out to those events. I think it's going to be great. I love that you're spreading the wealth across the country. I think that was a great idea, Matt, to be able to bring it to the West, then back to the East, and then back to the Midwest, right? And make it fun for everyone, because it makes it very possible for people to say, you know what, I can spend a couple of days really quick, because we know how busy you dealers are, you GMs are, everybody is. So,
yeah,
we appreciate you guys doing that. And I'm excited. I can't wait. Newport Beach is beautiful, and I can't wait to be out there. So it'll be a good time. We'll be out there.
And, thanks to all of our sponsors that are out there. And, I do think these are one of the best events that I've been to. And it's just the energy level that comes to these, the learnings that people come out, the feedback we get, I think is phenomenal at these events. But what I'm hoping to do also at these events is really promote and showcase the innovation that's going to be put in. We're investing tons back into the business. And I think a lot of people were, hey, there's a new CEO. Where's the direction of DriveCentric? And, if you come out to one of our DC events, I think you're just going to see an endless stream of new innovation, new roadmap, new ideas, new products coming out that we're just going to keep pumping out into the industry. And these are great events for us to be able to showcase some of that stuff as well, and then get feedback from our end users.
I love it. I love the DC20 events. They're always impactful in a different way. That's why you can never get enough of them. For those of you that have been, for those of you that have not, come sip on it a little bit, see what's going on, stay as much as you want to stay, play as much as you want to play. But there's so much good out of those events.
So much good. And people and other businesses are out there trying to do similar things because of how impactful it has been for their clients. So make sure you all pour into your clients. It's important. And you can see the difference when people go there and come back. So it's
I mean, I got, 15 different ideas that came out of the last DC event that we had. It was here in St. Louis. And, I still have some of the dealerships following up with me talking about that company I might never even heard of, where they've partnered with them, they've integrated with them, and they want DriveCentric to do that, to take advantage of some of the things that they have. So there's so much goodness that comes out of these events. That's great.
True. That's so good. And you're right. This is not make-believe, folks. Come find out, see what's going on. There is great stuff that comes out of these events, and it is done so fun. Folks, it's important to make this fun, just like using DriveCentric for a sales pro, for a manager. It's actually fun once you start to gamify and play with it and let the AI do its thing and you do your thing. All of this is fun, doing what it is that we love to do to take care of people. Now, there is so many people that do want to make sure that they do take the time to do it. What's one thing before we close out that you want to make sure that they do leave with, Matt?
From a DC event, what they come out with? So, I mean, obviously Steve brings the fun every year, and at every one of these events, we're lucky to have somebody like Steve Russer in our business to really bring that energy level up. What I really hope that people come to a DC event, whether you're a power user, just brand new dealership that just got started with Drive, or just looking at Drive, being excited about being live with Drive, just being excited to be on this platform, because like you said, is a fun platform. It is not the traditional. It's your modern way of approaching the sales and marketing approach. And what I'm hoping every person that comes to one of these events takes away is, hey, this is a company that's innovating. This is a company that is investing. This is a company that is on the cutting edge of a lot of things we do. I think we were the pioneers in AI. We were pioneers on a modern engagement platform. And I think what we have today is that platform to be able to kind of say, hey, we can do a whole lot more than just simply run the sales side of things. And if dealerships come to this event and walk away going, hey, this is a company that I know long-term is the company that we want to be with, and they're going to stay ahead of everybody else by constantly innovating, that's a home run for me. If they take anything away of just being excited, because I know within DriveCentric, we're excited about our roadmap. We're excited about what we're doing here. And I think everybody I talk to gets excited about things we're innovating on, but I need to be able to amplify that out. There's still shockingly some people out there that don't know who DriveCentric is. And so I need to change that. And I think that's why we're doing this regional roadshow.
I love it. It's crazy that someone may not know what DriveCentric is.
Basically,
right? It does, but I understand dealers out there. Sometimes you get comfortable. It's time to get uncomfortable, because the future is changing very fast. And if you try to stay too comfortable too long, you will get behind very fast. So make sure you guys check it out. reach out to the team over at DriveCentric, drivecentric.com. They're doing big things over there. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to Lou or I. We always are connected with them. We have literally the phone numbers to almost every executive in their company, and we are good friends with everybody who's in sales and, of course, in their service part too, because they take care of their customers above and beyond. That's why we love DriveCentric so much, because they still take care of the people the way that they should. That's the most important.
So this is exciting. We can't wait to see you all out there. We can't wait to see you, Matt. And you got this entire team out here that's excited to go get engaged, use the tool, and there's still great news to come as we go from there. We are excited to have each and every one of you on the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Car guys and car gals, help us to celebrate and make welcome once again from DriveCentric, their CEO, the leader himself, the one, the only, Matt Leone. We love you, brother. We appreciate you. Forgive, focus, fly, and let's keep growing on 3. 1, 2, 3. Forgive, focus,
fly, and keep growing, keep growing.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Make sure that you make it out to DC20, car guys and car gals.
Don't miss out.
We're out.
You will.